Hey everybody, today we're going to be making balloons. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab some fence and then grab some lead. Now this is for the sheep because there's actually sheep in the balloons that are invisible, and that's how we keep them tailored to have like string. So you want to summon your sheep, and those little squiggly lines mean right there, and you want to say custom name, colon, and then just one single quotation, and then in quotations text, colon again, and then the name. Now I said sheep 1, you could just name it whatever you want, but since I'm gonna have multiple, it's easier to do it with numbers. And then just do the same thing on the other side. And now I'm attaching the sheep to the fence with the lead. Now I'm gonna do the same command except replace the 1 with the 2. Now we're gonna make it the armor stand. Now the armor stand is a little confusing, but I'll just walk you along. So you want to summon an armor stand just like the sheep and put it right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to say it is invisible because we don't want to see it. And we do :1 to say, yes, it is invisible, 1 means true. Now, here's where things start to get a little confusing with a lot of brackets. So you just want to say that the items it doesn't have any in these slots, except in the head slot, it has blue wool. So to say blue wool, we do ID :blue_wool. Now you don't have to do blue wool. I did blue wool. You can do red wool. Make sure that is in quotations like I do here, but you don't have to do blue wool. So once you do that, you just want to make sure that it's not holding any items in the hand. So we say HandItems, we do count 1, so because we only want 1 wool. Now we're going to do the HandItems. Now since an armor stand has 2 hands, left and right, we just want to do 2 empty brackets. I don't think you want your armor stand to hold something, but if you did, you would do the same thing with the blue wool, like the ID and like a diamond sword, for example. And now we got to do the custom name, and it's pretty similar to the sheep, except we do a lot of backslashes. So just follow the pattern that I do here, but the naming convention is relatively similar. And I'm just going to name it color 1, which means it's going to match up with sheep 1, and the next one will be color 2, and so on and so on. So yeah, once you put in all those slashes and you finish up the quotations, the only difference with the sheep is that outside you want to do a double quotation instead of a single, but there you go, you have a floating wool block essentially. So now I'm going to change that to a 2, and I'm going to change the color of the wool. I'm doing red in my example, but you can make it whatever you want. And now we're going to move on to the actual command block. So I'm going to grab a repeating and a chain command block. Go over here. Putting down the repeating, and I'm going to say effect give at e type equals sheep. So any sheep in this distance, this parameter, will get this effect. And the effect we want is levitation, so our sheep float. I'm just saying 1 true, and true just means we're not going to show the particle effects, so you don't have to put true, but I would strongly suggest it. Looks like it's not working here for some reason. Might have to do with the amount of time. No. So if this happens to you, just make sure you go over this. My problem is that right here, my distance, it actually has to be point, like ... 20. And the reason behind that is because it means like within the area of 20. They updated that a while ago. And there you go, you can see our sheep are floating, which moves on to our next command block. Make sure it's always active in a chain command block. And we're just giving the same sheep in the area of 20 blocks. Well, 20, I think it might be a little more reasonable. We're giving those sheep invisibility, so we can't see them. So once we have those 2 things, we're going to have floating invisible sheep. And now the only thing left to do is teleport the actual armor stands to the sheep so they look like balloons. So we're just saying TP the armor stand. Now you don't have to write type equals armor stand because there's probably not a player with the name color 1 in your world, but if there is, you definitely want to say type equals armor stand, or your friend, or maybe even you, is going to be teleported to sheep number 1. And you make sure you say limit equals 1, just so it doesn't like go all around the world. And then I'm going to NBT copy the same command block, and just change sheep 1 to sheep 2 and color 1 to color 2. Now, once we have those first 2 done, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna actually add a little bit more. So as you see, I added a bunch. Now you probably wanna make sure the sheep don't have any noise. So you wanna say data merge entity, type equals sheep. Now, the problem with this is it is also, you can only do a limit of 1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the nearest one and go up to the sheep. There is definitely a better way to do this. When you summon the sheep, you can make sure it's silent. But I'm just gonna move around here trying to silence each one of my sheep. So that's pretty much all of them. I might have missed 1 or 2, but that's pretty much, well, gotta get the last one. I pushed it out of my radius, that's why it went invisible. You might want to increase the radius if you do it like I did. But that's pretty much all you need to do. Yeah, now you got balloons in Minecraft. As always, thank you for watching. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you all again sometime.